Hello and welcome, thanks for tuning in. It's nice to have you with us. Now, I have been using the Ava pressure washers from Norway for a considerable amount of time now. I am very happy with them. I can highly recommend them. However, the reason for this video today is that I found something in the Ava accessories lineup which opens up the possibility of a completely new innovative washing method. I am talking about this mop that you can buy separately. I will show you in this video what this is, what this can do, and I will show you my idea of a completely new and revolutionary washing method which I call the Ava Zero Bucket washing method. So let's now go quickly through what you need in order to start with this allegedly new revolutionary washing method. The main thing you need from the Ava accessories line is this mop attachment. And the most important message for you already is you don't need an Ava pressure washer in order to work with this, because as you can see, Ava uses the same bayonet mechanism that also Kärcher uses. So you can buy and attach this to your Kärcher pressure washer. You also see that it has the same design features as the Ava pressure washers with this honeycomb structure here, but the most important aspect is that on the underside of it there are holes, which means if you attach this to your pressure washer there is water coming out of it. And we will talk about in a minute why this opens up the possibility of a completely new washing method. Now this accessory here comes standard with one of those traditional noodle or chenille microfiber mops, but you can also buy a set of 4 different ones, 2 with those chenilles I just talked about, 1 with a more traditional microfiber wash mitt structure, and 1 with a short pile red one. The red one looks like this, which as you can see consists of a short pile microfiber material, much like the traditional Zonex wash mitt, which also comes in red. And then I don't have this one here with me because it is at home in the washing machine getting ready for its next use, but it is much like a lot of the traditional microfiber wash mitts that you know of, so that I also show to you how they are correctly installed. Very easy, very straightforward. You just pull this one all across the mop attachment. Make sure this one goes over the edges of it, which is a very soft material, which reduces the risk of scratches. Then you fix it with this one, and then you are ready to go. One additional tip by me: make sure you pull this cable here over there, maybe twice, because then you don't run the risk that this one touches your car while you're washing it. And in general, those are the things that you need in order to start with this washing method. Now, of course, you do need some liquids or chemicals in order to wash your car. And here we open up a few possibilities for you. If you use this attachment with a Kärcher pressure washer, and if this Kärcher pressure washer has a place where you can put those traditional triangular bottles in there, then you can fill them up with car shampoo, place it in the Kärcher, and then this Kärcher sucks out this shampoo and puts it out through this one. And this is definitely the most comfortable version you can use, because then you have everything you need in order to wash your car, which is car shampoo, this mop, and the microfiber wash mitts. If you are using an Ava pressure washer, then they don't have this attachment where you can use the bottle. And I asked Ava if it is a good idea to get yourself a self-priming hose, attach this one to a traditional wash bucket, and then suck out the shampoo water through the Ava pressure washer. And they told me that they would not recommend it because it can damage over time the pump unit that is in this pressure washer. So if you are using an Ava pressure washer or a different one which can connect this one to it, then in a first step you need to pre-wash your car with a pre-cleaner or citrus pre-cleaner. I personally like the Sienna Gloss First very much. Or you use a very strong snow foam, either with a foaming hand pump sprayer or with a foam lens. I personally can highly recommend the Bilt Hember Auto Foam, the Infinity Wax Power Foam, or the Wax Planet 8 Below. They are all rather good in terms of cleaning power. Then you pre-wash your car, you rinse this away. And then you have the possibility of applying a second layer of the snow foam, which gives you some sort of lubrication. Or you put a car shampoo in the snow foam lens or the foaming hand pump sprayer and therefore apply the car shampoo with them. In regards to car shampoos or car soaps, I personally like the Waxed Junkies Mango Wash a lot. I also like the Infinity Wax Pure Shampoo. I can highly recommend the Detail Bug Bubble Bug Shampoo, but I can also highly recommend the Dual Bahama Blue, but also the Carbon Collective Lusso. Those are just a few of my favorite shampoos because they are very, very slick. Most of them smell good, they are highly concentrated, and some of them are even exceptional value for money, especially if you get the Waxed Junkies or the Bubble Bug Car Shampoo from Detail Bug in the 5-liter options that are out there. As I said, one possibility is to put the car shampoos in a foam sprayer and then apply it to the whole car and then wash over the car with this attachment. You can also just use the car shampoos in your traditional car wash bucket and then just dump this one with the mitts attached to it in the bucket before you wash over the car. Or there is a third possibility, which is you fill up a spray bottle with water and shampoo, a slightly over-concentrated mix of it, and then you spray the mitt or you spray directly onto the car before you touch it with this one. And those really are all the things that you need for this washing method. As you can see, I made myself comfortable in our washing hall, so I can now show you how the Ava Zero Bucket wash method works. For this video and for this test, I will use the Ava P55 Go. This is the smallest pressure washer that Ava offers, but it is still absolutely fine in order to clean your cars. It is a very compact, a very light machine. I would say it's the perfect starter machine for pressure washers if you are using to get into car care. You don't necessarily need a lens, but I highly recommend it. I will show you why in a few minutes. You definitely need a foam lens. You also need a car shampoo. And as I said before, you need this microfiber mop attachment. And now I will show you how this new washing method works on the car. In order to wash your car as safe as possible, I still recommend that you do a pre-wash, which means you use either a snow foam or a dedicated pre-wash, apply it to the car, let it dwell, let it do its job, and then you rinse it away, and then you start washing your car. When it comes to the question of which car shampoo should you use, I personally think that the ones which are a shampoo and a snow foam at the same time are perfect for this kind of job. So for example, if you live in the German-speaking regions of Europe, the Nigreen car shampoo and snow foam, the Zonex Rich Foam, the Zonex Active Foam, the Kotschemi GSF, for example, are very good shampoos, which are very good products, which are shampoos and foams at the same time. They foam up nicely, they create a nice lubricative film on the car, which is perfect for what we will do now. In theory, you can use car shampoos with sealing properties, such as, for example, the Kotschemi Nano Magic shampoo. However, keep in mind that those shampoos normally don't really foam up, but that has not necessarily need to be a bad thing, because those shampoos still can offer a lot of lubrication and they leave a protective film on your car behind when you are finished. However, if you are going to apply a dedicated protective product after you washed your car, then I would actually recommend to stick to shampoos without any waxes or sealants or drying aids in it. But that's enough talk. Let's now go ahead and start with this washing method. As you can see, we are finished with the pre-wash stage, and now we have to apply car shampoo on the paint in order to start washing, because we need that lubricative film. Before we do that, one additional tip from me: wetten the microfiber wash mop because it of course doesn't make sense to rub this one dry on the paint. The by far easiest option to apply a lubricative film or car shampoo here on the panel is with a foam cannon, and because you need a pressure washer for this wash method, it just is by far the most comfortable method, and that's what we will do now, and afterwards I'll show you all the other options that you have. So you start by plugging in the foam lens and then apply it to the hood. A second additional tip from me, I personally would overdose the shampoo in here. Then you are sure you have enough lubrication on there, so don't be greedy and use enough shampoo in there. But we now have applied the shampoo and can start washing it. I'll show you what this lens is all about as soon as I press the trigger here. The water starts flowing through. I will show it to you without the microfiber mop, so you can have a closer look at it. And that's exactly the beauty of this thing, because unlike other mops, which don't have this water flow in there, the water also flushes out the dirt particles which are in there, and as I said, an additional lubricative film. But let me show you. So we place it there and then I press and start. Two observations: because there's water coming out constantly, the mitt glides effortlessly over the surface, at least as good as any wash mitt I ever tried. You also see that because water is coming out of it, pretty much all the surfactants, all the foam has gone. So you're actually also removing the foam while washing it, which is an additional nice extra of it. One additional option you have in order to apply shampoo on the hood before you wash it is you can prepare yourself a wash bottle with water and shampoo in there. I have here a mix of water and Geon Bath Essence, which is a highly concentrated 2000 to 1 car shampoo. Once again, I slightly over concentrated it in order to have enough lubrication in there. And I will now apply this to the hood, but also on the microfiber mop, and show you how this works. As you can see, this also works perfectly fine. The Geon shampoo also creates more felt slickness than the Kotch Chemie GSF or Gentle Snow Foam did, but that could be due to me over concentrating it. But the important part is you see that this also works perfectly fine, and as soon as I'll start the water flow there, we probably also remove the lubrication film. Yeah, as you can see, the majority of the surfactants and the foam is gone, and this also makes it easier to rinse your car afterwards. As you can see, this method works perfect. And as I said before, you have a few additional options in order to apply car shampoo here to the car. You can also pour the car shampoo pure into the wash mitt and then start washing. However, then you use quite a lot of shampoo. You can also fill snow foam and or car shampoo in a foaming hand pump sprayer and then apply the shampoo with that. Or if you run this mop attachment with a Kärcher pressure washer, then you can attach such a Kärcher bottle with car shampoo in the Kärcher itself. And then you're not only sucking up and pumping out water in there, but you're actually pumping out a mix of water and shampoo, which probably is the most comfortable way of doing that. There's one additional option you have, which doesn't make too much sense because I called this washing method the zero bucket method. However, I still wanted to show it to you. You can prepare yourself a regular wash bucket with a grit guard, with a dirt trap in it and car shampoo. You can dump this thing in there and take up car shampoo this way. And as you can see, this method also works perfectly fine. One additional advantage of Ava's system over other solutions, for example the Microfiber Madness Incredipole, is that the Incredipole has a rather wide microfiber mitt up front, which means that it won't fit regular wash buckets perfectly. You need a rectangle wash bucket, for example the ones that Ava has. But this Ava mop is perfectly in size so that you can dump it in all the way into a regular wash bucket. I already recommended to you that if you want to use this wash method, that you get yourself this additional 4-pack of microfiber mops. And because I was testing and using this wash method for the last couple of weeks, here is a personal tip and my recommendation how to do it. I would use this short pile microfiber, the red one, which is the softest, I think, for the parts of the car where there is the least amount of dirt, and that, in my opinion, is the trunk lid, the hood, and the roof of the car. Then, for the side panels or the upper side panels, I would use this type of microfiber because this one can take up more dirt and encapsulate it. And then for the lowest parts, I would use this noodle or chenille mitt, because the noodles can go in all the cracks and crevices and take out the dirt that is there. And that's exactly what I want to show you now. We first apply the Kotschimmy GSF once again with the foam lens on the hose side and then also the roof. Now for the roof, I grabbed myself the Ava Flexi Lens. The main advantage of this one, but I will do a separate video on this, is, as you can see, you can adjust the angle there. I will now fix it to a approximately 90-degree angle. I already attached the short pile red microfiber mitt, and I'm sure you know the situation that you say something and a few minutes afterwards you realize that it was bullshit. Of course you don't have to wetten this with the nozzle, you can just depress the trigger and then it wettens itself. So this is actually the more elegant way to do it, and yes, I know that I just said this one wettens itself, but let's now start. I personally, even if I applied the snow foam to the roof, I still use a bit of shampoo from the spray bottle just to be a bit safer. And now you see how incredibly comfortable this method is, especially if you use the Flexi Lens. And this is the perfect method for everyone with short arms, with a short height. Aman, I'm talking to you right now. If you have big cars, tall cars, lorries, Caravans, absolutely perfect. And as soon as we start the water, we also flush out the shampoo. So I now already attached the blue one, which I will use according to my own tip on the mid side panels. I will flush it with water again. And I will use car shampoo, again from the spray bottle. Don't worry, if you wash your car, the foam will stay longer on the car, or you have to apply a fresh layer if you're not working that quick. But because I'm doing a video for you, the foam has now already run off. But let's now wash these side panels. And once again, as you can see, this method is incredibly comfortable. Because of the lens here, you could attach the mop also to the pistol, but I actually think this way it is the most comfortable one. If you have a bow here in the bodywork, you can also wash until there. But the important part is comfort, absolute comfort. And because we regularly swap out these ones, it is as safe as we would use a wash mitt and a wash bucket and wash that out all the time. Of course, you would do the other side with this one as well, but let's now switch to the last one. As you saw, this also works perfectly fine, and once again, it's comfort that sets this wash method apart, because I don't have to go down with the wash mitt there. I can just use the mop and wash the car that way. Perfect. Since the first day that I started with car care, it was always about reducing or eliminating the risk of paint defects, which means that you have to use soft microfiber materials, you have to use a 2-bucket wash method, you have to use grit guards or dirt traps. And despite all of that, and despite all my knowledge in car care, I honestly and truly think that this new washing method can be as safe as the traditional 2-bucket wash method if you use several of these microfiber mop attachments. The main advantage that this system has over such a thing like the Microfiber Madness Incredipole, for example, is the size of the attachment, which fits perfectly into a traditional wash bucket, and that there is fresh water coming out of it, which just adds an additional degree of lubrication and safety. The method is not perfect. The Flexi lens, if you want to use it, is rather heavy, so you need a bit of strength in order to hold it up there. And it is not a cheap method, because the Flexi lens is about 70 to 80 pounds, and the microfiber mops with this attachment here is about 30 to 40 pounds, which adds up to quite a lot of money. However, if you think about how much those buckets cost with with the gamma seal lids with the dirt traps in them. And if you then think about how much microfiber wash mitts can cost and that you need several ones, I actually think the price difference is not that large anymore. So at the end of the day, I think this washing method is for you guys out there who have and work with a pressure washer, who are allowed to do so, and who want the maximum in comfort when they wash their cars. And with that conclusion, I want to end the video. If you liked it, leave us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.